Coach, we're back at home after the weekend series against St. Thomas last weekend. What did you see first from that series?
Wow. Talk about crazy on Friday night, like the 6-3 first period. I'd never seen two teams pull their goalie after the first period and change. It was just, and it was not an indictment on the goalies. I mean, it just was an old 1980s shootout type game. I liked the positives I took away though was we fell behind early. We stayed in it. We were down, I think 1.63, got it back to 6-5. And then Saturday night, we deserved a better fate. The guys played really well. We had a 3-2 lead late in the game, and obviously we let it get away from us. But there's a lot there that I liked, and look, I think carrying it forward into this weekend. What I did like too is we scored a lot of goals, and if we can continue to score goals, we'll take care of the other part of it. Our end of the rink, because we have all year.
A couple of those goals coming on the power play, 5 goals allowed to St. Thomas's power play. What did you make of special teams?
Well, obviously we want to do a better job on the penalty kill. We scored a shorthander, and I think they scored a shorthander too. So, when you look at it and then you throw in the empty netter, a lot of the scoring really was done on specialty teams and empty nets. But I like the power play. Like our power play as of late has been scoring some goals at a really good clip. I don't know, over the last 8 games, but I like to look at our power play percentage. I think it's pretty good. I think we're in the mid upper 20s in that time period. So that's good. And the penalty kill, I think it is something that should be an easier thing to correct. And hopefully, obviously it's been a point of emphasis this week in practice, and hopefully we can dial in the right prescription for that.
Bowling Green at home this weekend, first CCHA home series since late November. So first of all, I know you're excited to be back at home playing CCHA games, but also a Falcons team that's tough to play against.
Yeah, well, the first part of that is you're right. It seemed like I can't remember the last time. Obviously, it was November. It's been a long time since we've had a game here, and looking forward to playing over the next 2 weekends at home. And we had a great series with Bowling Green earlier this year. Very tough, very hotly contested. As I look at our schedule, I think every one of these games is going to be tight. I really do. I think what we saw Saturday night is going to be kind of what we're going to see the rest of the way. 1-goal games that are decided late.
And then, Coach, earlier this week, you, of course, announced that this will be your final season as the head coach of the Bulldogs. First of all, congratulations on your outstanding career, and thank you for everything you've done for the game of college hockey and for Ferris State University. But I know that you also said the focus still on this team and winning games.
Absolutely, and the guys deserve that. They've really, really worked hard. And you know what's great? There's such a good vibe around this team. They're very close. It's a very tight-knit group, and they deserve, they deserve all the focus, everything dialed in. And we talked a little bit. You only have so many opportunities. Really, as of right now, the NCAA may change the rules here, sounds like, but as of right now, everybody's got 4 years, and so you only got 4 bites at the apple, and you want to, and I think this team, we could do something special down the stretch run, and I want to see these guys get that opportunity. They've earned that right and that opportunity. So, that's where my attention is, anyways.
Earlier in the season, there were a couple games or a couple series where the offense was a little stagnant here and there. With what you just said about scoring a lot of goals in the last series, how do you promote that more through the rest of the season?
Well, good question. I don't know that we need to promote it, the rest of the season. I don't know. We scored close to 10 on the week, and that's great. A couple things that I'm seeing right now. Tyler Schleppe is playing really good, and you can see the confidence in him. And I don't know how many he had, a couple on the weekend maybe. And then you go back, he's really been playing well. And if you look, his numbers since he came back from injury are really, really good. You couple that, the one line I think is starting to really hum too. And it seems like they've got some chemistry between Burge, Best, and Holden Dole. And the interesting thing, all 3 of those guys can really skate. They've got good size, good strength. They scored one of the best goals I've seen in a long time Saturday night, our first goal at St. Thomas. There was 4 passes from the top of our circles to their end of the rink before we scored. It was 4 really good, and it was at speed, at tempo, meaning that they were up the ice quickly, and it's hard to defend against that. So and then you look at our power play starting to feel pretty good. So, the good news is, there's going to be a game. Like our league is so good defensively, and we have so many good goalies in this league. There's going to be nights where it's going to be 1 or 2. I know that, but for the most part, I think I'm optimistic that offensively we may not get 10 in a weekend, but if we're good for 6, 7 in a weekend, that's pretty good.
The earlier series against Bowling Green was a sweep for Bowling Green. How do you flip the script this weekend?
Did you just write that note in your hand?
I have everything written.
That's spectacular. I didn't. I don't mean to. I saw you over there jotting on it. We got to get you some paper. But God, I can't remember that series that well. I know it was 2 pretty close games, and I remember coming out of there thinking, boy, we could have swept that as easily as we were swept. So I'm not sure. I haven't put a lot of time in yet this week at looking at Bowling Green, and I will hopefully later today. But I could tell you what we need to do. And one of the things that I was not happy with last weekend was we reverted in a couple of areas that I thought we had conquered in the first half. One was we took at least 3 unnecessary penalties on Friday night, cleaned it up Saturday. Great job. And then our line changes were horrific on Friday night. We were changing when the other team had the puck was coming in, and that's partly how they ended up scoring so many is our changes were very poor. Once again, I thought Saturday we made the adjustment, alerted the guys that this is an issue, and I thought the guys did a great job coming back. So, I look at those things, too, as being important this weekend. We don't want to have to keep going back and learning lessons that we already learned. Good line changes go a long way. Staying out of the box go a long way. And then in the defensive zone, I've noticed a few lapses that we were better in the first half in our defensive zone. And so, I think that those 3 areas are what we'll key on. Another area though I thought we were really good was coming out of our zone. We were clean. Not every time, obviously, St. Thomas got a good forecheck, but I thought we were pretty clean exiting our zone. And that actually allows us to score more goals because now we don't have to just bang the puck out and then go into a neutral zone forecheck. We can actually possess the puck coming out of our zone, which allows you to hopefully zone enter at the other end of the rink with possession. And we were much cleaner. So, that's a long answer, but that's my answer in terms of there's a lot to it, and I just hope we don't have to go backwards in time and keep learning some lessons that I think we've already conquered.
Like we talked about earlier, it's been a while since there's been a regular season non-exhibition game at home here. What are you looking forward to being back in front of the home crowd?
Yeah, well, first, great point. Like the home crowd, that's number one. Love playing here, love playing in front of our fans. And then, secondly, just really happy to have to jump on a bus again real quick. That was a long weekend in terms of the bus ride out there and the bus ride home. So I'm not going to miss that whatsoever. And then just sleeping in your own bed and playing in front of your own crowd and knowing the routine around here, I think that's quite a bit better. Plus, if need be, it opens us up to our full complement of players. Where when you're on the road, you're limited to the size of your travel party that you can take, and at home you don't have that type of restriction. So there's a lot of benefits to being at home. Gives us last change too.